Winners, butt kickers, champions in life. Vincent Rose here, the Fat Killer with H2G Fitness, coming to you from Galveston Beach. And I'm pretty excited about getting a chance to record this video. This was a video that I did want to make on the 13th of February, but I'm not getting around to it today. And the reason that the 13th of February is significant is the 13th of February is my anniversary day. What anniversary day? The anniversary day of me walking away from a job, working for myself full time, becoming a full-time business owner, and never having to answer to another person for anything for the rest of my life. And that might sound pretty dramatic, but it's true. And today is February 16th, and I did the math, and for the last 734 days, I have been free. I haven't had to answer to another person for anything. I haven't had to be stuck ever in morning traffic. I haven't had to have any Monday morning meetings. I haven't had to pack my lunch. I haven't had to participate in designated hungry time. And what designated hungry time is, what you call lunchtime, right? They say from this time to this time is when you get hungry every single day, and you only have this long to go ahead and get your meal in, kind of a thing. And I haven't had to do any of that. I haven't had to deal with coworkers. I haven't had to deal with reports. I haven't had to deal with anybody pointing their finger at me saying, do this, do that. I have been a free man for 734 days, doing what I want, when I want, how I want, whenever I want, wherever I want, and I'm free. I mean, whew. I accomplished this at 31 years old. I'm now 33. The way that I got started on this journey is whenever I was 22, 23, something like that. I came across a business team. It's actually through Amway. And the business team that I was partnered with was LTD. I had some great mentors in my life. The first one being a man by the name of Marshall Plotner. The second one being a man by the name of Rob Huneman. The next one being a man by the name of Jake Baker. And then there was a Larry Winters, right? And there was a lot of other guys who I respected mightily, who were entrepreneurs, who were business owners, who were men of God, who had values, morals, belief systems in themselves that I didn't have in mine. And they sowed a lot of good seeds into me, and they poured a lot of good stuff into me. And they took a kid that at age 22 to 23 years old was a mess. I used to drink a bunch. I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to swear like a sailor because I was one. I was in the military at this time. And my language was very well appropriate for the Navy. I should just say that. And they started teaching me things. They started teaching me to clean up my act. They started teaching me to get serious, set some goals, and plan out some things for my life. And they started teaching me, more importantly, or as importantly, how to take control of my life. They started teaching me about business ownership. They started teaching me about goal setting. They started teaching me about relationship skills. They started teaching me about budgeting. They started teaching me about public speaking. They started teaching me about how to market and brand myself. They started teaching me about all kinds of stuff. They sowed all these seeds into me. And whenever they weren't sowing seeds into me, they were handing me books, they were giving me CDs, or they were having late nights cups of coffee with me, and they were teaching me how to go from an employee mindset to a business owner mindset. And from the age of 22, 23, all the way up to the age of 31, I just hit the believe button. I got to work. I put in some long hours. I made the decision that for every hour that I work for another man, I will work that same hour for myself. So if I worked 40 hours a week for the Navy, I was gonna work 40 hours a week for me, and I did. Whenever I got stationed on an aircraft carrier and I started working 60 hours a week, if I was gonna work 60 hours a week for the Navy, I was gonna work 60 hours a week for me. Well, Vincent, that's 120 hours a week. Yes, I know. I did that. I worked 120 hours a week. But Vincent, there's only 168 hours in a week. So that means 120. You were grinding and you only had 48 hours to yourself? Yes. When did you have time to sleep? When did you have time to eat? When did you have time to do anything? The answer was I didn't. At the end of the 9 months, the last 9 months that I was on that aircraft carrier, for a period of 9 months, I never got more than an hour and a half of sleep a night. I did this for 9 months. So much to the point that I was working so hard, I was putting forth so many hours, I was burning the candle at both ends so much that I would take the phone, not this same phone, but whatever phone I had at the time, and I would literally take tape and I would tape the phone to my ear. And I would set the alarm, because that was the only way that I was going to wake up, as if I alarmed myself awake to the point that I had an alarm literally attached to my darn ear. And I remember one time we were about to muster. That's the same thing as at work, you know, you have your Monday morning meeting. We were mustering at the beginning of the week, and I went into a back room closet just to try to get an extra 20 minutes of sleep, because again, for 9 months I never slept more than an hour and a half a night. And I thought I was going to get a 20-minute nap, an extra 20 minutes in, and I fell asleep and I locked the door, but I didn't wake up to the alarm, and I stayed sleeping. And I remember that I was woken up by security knocking on the door, because the problem was the door only opened from the door only locked from the inside. So whenever they tried to open the door and they couldn't get in, they knew that somebody was in there. Hang tight. Sure as hell beats being in an office. But they knew that the door only opened from the inside and that somebody had to be in there. So they called security. Security unlocked and got in through the door. It was a small room, and when they opened the door up, the door swung open and it hit a pair of legs of a body that was lying on the ground. It was me sleeping. But they didn't know it was me sleeping. They thought maybe I offed myself laying in this stupid closet. And so they started standing over me, yelling, "Rose, Rose." In the military, they always call you by your last name. They never call you by your first. So they said, "Rose." And eventually when I heard my name, it was enough to wake me up. And I stood up and I looked at them, and they were all freaked out because they thought they were sitting there standing over a dead body, and it turns out I was just sleeping. And they're like, "What the heck is going on?" And I said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, man, I'm just a heavy sleeper." But I got off that boat. I started getting a little bit more sleep. I remember after 9 months of never sleeping more than an hour and a half, I never reached the point that I had REM sleep. What's REM sleep? Rapid eye movement. That's when you're dreaming. So I hadn't had a dream in 9 months, literally. And I remember the first time that I had more than 4 or 5 hours of sleep and I had my first dream, I woke up scared because I didn't know what was going on. My brain didn't know how to process that I was dreaming again. And I was just like, "Vincent, you truly are a madman." What's the point of all this? For 9 to 10 years, I worked harder during that time. I put in more hours during that time. I put in more effort during that time. I did more reading of books during that time. I did more of listening to CDs during that time. I did more of stretching myself and growing myself personally during that time than most people will ever do in 40 years. I'm not tooting my own horn or none of that crap, but I paid some freaking dues. And because of that, after the years I put in, at age 31, I walked away from a job, and for the last 734 days, I've been free. I own my calendar. I am the president of my own company and the CEO. There's a board of directors, and every single year, that board of directors elects the president. And I'll say that up until this point, they've done an incredible job. That board also sets salary levels. And up until this point, they've done an incredible job. If I want a raise, I don't go ask. I go to the mirror and I go, hey dude, you're getting a raise. And then I give it to myself. I wake up in the morning and I shave the boss. You know what I mean? And it's a pretty cool thing. Right now is Wednesday. It's like 1 in the afternoon. 70 degrees outside here in Texas. I'm at the beach. I could be chained to some office. I could be doing reports. I could be doing data entry. I could be getting yelled at by somebody. I could be just getting back from my designated hungry time. I could be doing a lot of things. But I'm walking down the beach. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm living my life. I'm free. And I'm excited about it, man. And here's what's cool. The vehicle that I thought that I was going to get free in, which was the Amway Corporation, turns out was an incredible school, but it wasn't the best opportunity for creating income. And for anybody that's still involved in Amway, you might get butthurt when I say that, but sorry. It's a very, very, very bad vehicle for creating income. It's a very awesome community. It's a very awesome educational system. It's a very awesome cause and purpose driven company. But your profit earning potential in that company sucks. It just does. Unless you have 1,000 people on your team, you're never going to clear $400,000 a year. And here's a tip. You shouldn't have to have 1,000 people on your team to make $400,000. I got less than 80 clients and I make over $120,000 a year. So you tell me what's a better money-making opportunity. All that being said, I am an entrepreneur. I have started my own company. I do own H2G Fitness. I did get my freedom. I did start posting lifestyle videos on social media. It did catch the attention of other people that want to do what I do. And so I started coaching, teaching, training, and mentoring others how to do what it is that I do. How to be an online coach, how to make meal plans, how to break through plateaus, how to set up workout regimens, how to set up cardio regimens, how to know when to tweak and change things to make sure that your clients are always continuously getting results. I've trained over 37 people to do what I do. I'll just share 2 success stories with you. One is a gentleman by the name of Matt. He went through my program. He's about 8 months in, and he's earning over $7,000 a month now. Here's a tip. He doesn't work a job anymore. He spends his days free. He has 2 beautiful children. His son is in karate. He goes to his karate classes. He raises his son. He spends time with his wife. And he is a full-time business owner, a full-time dad, a full-time husband. He lives an incredible life. His wife and himself both drive Mercedes-Benz. Him a little sport deal, his wife a little SUV deal. And life's pretty good for that dude. I trained another gentleman by the name of Josh. He was a client of mine. Then he became a trainer. His first month, he made over $3,500. His second and third month, he made over $7,000. His fourth month, he made $9,000, and his best month to date has been $15,000, $16,000, kind of a deal. It's not too bad. It spends pretty good, if you ask me. What's the point of that? I am free. I've helped 2 other people get free